What's up, guys? It's the Midnight Chronicler, bringing to you tonight a brand new
Goosebump book review for Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. We also have
a nice piano on set for us just to kind of add to the atmosphere, guys, because this book is properly creepy. It's probably the scariest Goosebump book that I've read upon my little summer reread that I'm doing here for you guys. This is book number, if we can get a focus, 13. And guys, on one hand, this book is kind of a conundrum for me. It does something that very few Goosebump books have been able to do upon this summer reread of mine, and that is legitimately make me uneasy reading a Goosebump book. And obviously this is a kid's horror novel, I guess, but it really does its job. It really is creepy, guys. Now, obviously, Goosebump books are meant to be a little creepy, but when you get older, it gets kind of tougher to truly get that uneasy feeling from these books. But this book had it. And this book has, honestly, it has some bite to it. Firstly, it revolves around a piano, which is scary enough, as you guys can kind of see here. Just the ominous look of pianos in general, I think, are creepy, and they are kind of a staple for haunted houses everywhere. Not only is there a creepy piano in the book, but it's being played in the middle of the night by a ghost girl while the main character, Jerry, and his parents are sleeping. While they're sleeping in the middle of the night, the piano in their house is being played by a ghost girl whose face melts off right off her head and exposes a, quote, gray skull underneath that screams at Jerry to leave her house. Yeah, there is some of the more gnarliest imagery I've seen in a Goosebump book, guys, from the original series, and I love it. There's also a creepy piano teacher named Dr. Shriek, who takes Jerry under his wing and gives him kind of piano lessons, obviously. It sounds like a typical Goosebump bad guy trope, and he sort of is, but as we learn, there's something really off about Dr. Shriek and his lessons. Can we talk about the overall atmosphere of this book just for one quick second, guys? Just the scenes of practicing piano and Jerry going to take lessons, just that imagery that this book gives revolving around playing the piano just gives this book such an off vibe. Who wants to picture playing a piano by yourself, whether it's in school or at your house, like in an empty house? It's just a very, very eerie vibe, isn't it? Maybe it's because I've never been personally interested in playing the piano, but the thought of someone sitting alone in an echoey house playing, or in a mansion, just is definitely a appropriately creepy vibe. Piano Lessons Can Be Murder gave me that feeling that I don't find often in Goosebump books lately, guys. It felt truly unsettling next to Goosebump books that have more kind of typical plots that revolve around Halloween or about a haunted house. Piano Lessons Can Be Murder is just kind of eerie in a different way. The setting is just not your typical setting, I guess. I mean, it's more of like an in school, kind of at the house, kind of like, at a piano teacher's studio, I guess you could call it, but it just makes you feel off the entire time. And then there's the ending, which, and no, this is not another one of those One Day in Horrorland situations. If you guys have seen that review, you know all about my feelings on that book's ending. Oh boy. Yeah, but this one is different, and I would say it's in a good way. There's definitely a twist here, and the end twist is kind of benign, which is to say it's not amazing or really disappointing. It's just kind of there. It's kind of a joke. Not in a bad way, but there's a twist before the twist, let's say. The final confrontation is where that twist happens, and that final confrontation is really bizarre, and I keep using this word, but unsettling. Near the end, Jerry, the main character, goes back to Dr. Shriek's class to find himself lost in a maze of hallways. Eventually, he comes to a strange room with a robot sweeping the floor. Yeah, there's robots in this studio where Dr. Shriek is giving him lessons. And Jerry runs away and eventually is caught into a room with Dr. Shriek, and several pianos with severed hands start playing the pianos. So literally, in the end of the book, there's a bunch of severed hands that are just playing the pianos. And that's the imagery that R.L. Stine wanted to put in this children's book. Now, I know, right? It's kind of crazy. But then it turns out Dr. Shriek is a robot himself, created by the janitor, whose name is Mr. Toggle. Yeah, the names in this book are not R.L. Stine's best, but Mr. Toggle is actually the one behind everything. Now, Mr. Toggle has created several different self-playing pianos and uses actual human hands to play them. Yeah, because creating robotic human hands is too complex, so he has to literally chop the hands off of his victims. And if you haven't guessed it, the ghost girl that's playing the piano in Jerry's house in the middle of the night is obviously one of his victims. I know, a pretty big WTF moment right there. And then at the very end, while Mr. Toggle is threatening to take Jerry's hands and make him into one of his severed hand floating robot minions, the face melting ghost girl comes back along with everyone else who had their hands chopped off. And by the way, the book never mentions any of these people going missing or there being a police report about this stuff or anything like that. But here they are, all the ghosts of the people that the evil Mr. Toggle severed the hands off come back, and they basically gang up on Mr. Toggle. So all these ghosts kind of take this man, drag him kicking and screaming into the dark woods,
never to be seen again.
Like I said, guys, I was shocked, confused, and at times honestly kind of creeped out by Piano Lessons Can Be Murder. This book is a solid 7 out of 10. It's one of the lesser talked about books from the original series, but if you're interested in it, guys, go and check it out. Do yourselves a favor and honestly, read some of the stuff that's more under the radar with Goosebumps like this. You never know when you'll kind of run into a gem like I did with this book. It's really, really awesome. So thanks, guys. Have you read it? What did you think? Let me know, guys. Please leave a like in the comments. Let's discuss the book and see what your thoughts are. I'm all ears. And please, guys, subscribe if you haven't done so. We do these reviews. We have a good time. Become part of the community. But thanks so much, guys. Later.